As we look back on more karting from the TDI Media archives, if you want to know more about the sport, to find your nearest kart circuit and club and start racing, go to the website abkc.org.uk.
Welcome back. The official junior championship class is KF3, and somebody who dominated that last time out is Callum O'Keefe, aka Justin Bieber. The race last time round at PF was a little bit of a Sunday jaunt for you until it got to the televised final, where it was a little bit more competitive. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the whole weekend we qualified on pole, won both of our heats by quite a lot, and then won the first final as well by about 2 seconds. But by that time, I chewed up my tyres quite a lot because we weren't really so good on the new compound because we hadn't done much testing on it. And so that gave Roy a bit of an advantage, and still the toe as well helped him follow me around. But when it came to the end, still came out on top, so it was a really good weekend.
And how's it going so far this weekend?
This weekend we've been a bit mixed. Friday, obviously, I haven't been here very much. I only came here last year for the Super One. That was my first time here. And been a bit mixed. Fast in some sessions, not in the other. The toe is really, really big around here because of the long straights and lack of corners. But we've come second in one of our heats, finished about 14th in the other due to a penalty after we actually finished third. But the pace is good, and I think we can come through for the finals.
So far so good this season. Tell me what your ambitions are in karting.
I think the main ambition has to be world champion. That's the one everybody wants to win, definitely the one that I want to win the most and pushing for this year. And then hopefully at the end of this year we'll go maybe KF2, KF1, maybe if funds permitting, of course. And then from there it's just winning races and winning championships.
And tell me and everyone at home the importance of financial support in karting.
Oh, especially when you get to this sort of level, national championships and European level, just if you don't have the money you can't compete, and if you can't compete you can't win the races.
And that's why the Racing Steps Foundation is so important, right?
I'd say that because it gives kids who don't have any money an opportunity to do what they love and compete and try and win races.
Well, best of luck this weekend. One last thing, can you let me know when your next single's out?
In June.
Yeah.
Grid positions for KF3. Bradley Shaw goes off 22, Darius Carbley off 21, Jacques Morley from Kings Lynn off 20, James Kellett from Leeds off 19, Ashley Lacey off 18, and Josh Reed from Dunmow off P17. Off P16 it's Alana Taylor from Cumbernauld, Ricky Collard from Hook off 15, Rory Cuff off 14. Unlucky for some, it's TJ Nelson this time. Alex Gill goes off 12, Nathan Aston off P11. Then comes Oliver Norris from Glastonbury off P10. Into the top 10, Connor Jupp off 9, Sam Webster off P8, Alex Hamilton from Dublin off P7, Roy Johnson from Walsall off 6. Top 5, Ben Barnicoat off 5, George Russell goes off 4. Top 3, Matthew Graham from County Durham goes off 3, Dylan Phibbs off 2. And the poleman is the previously interviewed Callum O'Keefe. He's good looking, he gets his pick of the girls. He races karts at the highest level, but is he happy? That's the question. He's happy right now because he leads the championship and leads this race up into Stratford Hairpin. Graham has come through from third to second. Phibbs has dropped one from second to third. The only kart in the middle of that group was Alex Gill. Here they come back towards us then. Ben Barnicoat in fourth place. The O plate 63 is George Russell. 4, Roy Johnson. Barnicoat and Roy Johnson, the Racing Steps Foundation supported drivers. On board here with George Russell, driving the Intrepid this year. Looking back on the 4 karts of Roy Johnson. It's the 2 leaders though, who already grabbed themselves an early advantage here. George Russell's obviously lost a place to Roy Johnson. Johnson's through to 4th. Russell's dropped down to 5th. Earlier results, Heat 1, Dylan Phibbs from Callum O'Keefe and Alex Gill. O'Keefe with the fastest lap at 42.05. George Russell from Matthew Graham and Dylan Phibbs in Heat 2. Connor Jupp this time with the fastest lap at 41.90. And the earlier final from which the grid positions for this race were made up. Callum O'Keefe took the win from Phibbs and Graham. And Matthew Graham that time with the fastest lap. And Phibbs getting that much closer under braking through Wilkins to the 2 leaders. So they're being hunted down. There is Roy Johnson, the 4 kart in 5th place. Russell there still in 6th. The 10 kart Alex Hamilton through Cafe Corner in 7th place, and in behind Hamilton is a 51 karter Connor Jupp. It's still O'Keefe that leads it from Graham. But Graham's under pressure now from Dylan Phibbs, who's got a lot closer. Rest of the karts stream up into the top Stratford hairpin. 47 makes up a place. That's TJ Nelson. That's for 15th. But out front it is Callum O'Keefe, who has been pretty dominant in this championship so far. He's won all of the 3 finals that we've had. He was a comfortable winner in all of the heats and pre-final at round 1. As Sam mentioned in the interview, he was under a lot more pressure from Roy Johnson, the forekart there at round 1 in the televised final, but still managed to come out on top in the end. If he wins this, he'll have a full scoop of 200 points moving forward. And unless he gets involved in some sort of incident here, he will certainly take the championship lead forward into the next round. Been a very impressive Callum O'Keefe this season so far. And there's no doubt in my mind these 2 drivers are racing with the support of the Racing Steps Foundation now. Ben Barnicoat, the O-plating for Roy Johnson. But I've no doubt that Callum O'Keefe will have already caught the eye of Martin Hines, who is involved with the foundation in spotting the talent. And no doubt Martin will have the name of Callum O'Keefe penned down firmly in his book somewhere. Ben Barnicoat loses a spot to George Russell through the Stratford hairpin. Callum O'Keefe, as we saw earlier in the interview, very articulate young man, and the Racing Steps Foundation are keen not only to support the drivers in the racing, but educationally as well, including things like media training. It's very important that drivers can speak well, be clearly understood, and be interviewed for television and the press. Very important as you move up through the formulas. The experience that the drivers get, even at this level, as they're interviewed on the podium and for feature interviews before the races start. Very important in that sort of development. Yes, you need to be quick. Yes, you need to win races. But you also need to represent your sponsor, in this case the Racing Steps Foundation, as well as you possibly can, both on and off the track. Another aspect is how you deal with adversity. It's easy to be all singing, all dancing when things are going well, but how do you deal with things when they're not going well? Talking about things not going well, for Roy Johnson, just lost the place to George Russell. Russell's up to 4th. Johnson now back down to 5th place. Later in the race, through turn 1. Turn 2 is Cafe Corner. It's still Graham applying the pressure to O'Keefe. O'Keefe was under pressure at round 1 in the televised final from Roy Johnson, and was still managed to come out on top. A little bit of contact in that race through the last lap, but didn't impact on O'Keefe's lead. Graham is the fastest man on the track at 41.40. Oh, and there's contact out of the shots of the cameras with just over a lap remaining. Didn't see what happened there, but it looks like there's been some contact, and O'Keefe has run wide through the chicane, and Matthew Graham has bagged himself the lead. He goes through the line this time. Last lap. Now, we didn't catch what happened there, but clearly there has been some sort of either contact or O'Keefe has made a mistake. But either way, it's Graham up front, O'Keefe second. Here comes Russell up the inside of Phibbs through Stratford hairpin on the last lap, and Phibbs has allowed Russell up the inside, possibly to take that 3rd and final podium spot. What can Phibbs do about it? I think George Russell is going to be far too experienced. He's going to take the narrow line. Phibbs looks for the switchback outside through Hanger. That doesn't usually work. Well, I can't see him in the picture. He must be on the outside. Russell will no doubt run him to the outside. Yeah, no doubt he'll have done that. It's Graham that wins. It looks like there was contact in the chicane. It doesn't look like O'Keefe is very happy.
George, congratulations, 3rd place, a last lap move. Talk me through it.
Well, I was planning the move from as soon as I got behind Dylan, and he just left the door open, so I just lunged down the inside of him.
Callum, I really thought that you were going to win that, but not the end of the world. You've still got 2nd place, still going to take your points home this weekend, and you're still leading the championship.
Yeah, it was a great weekend overall, winning the first final and coming second in the second one, leading for 14 out of the 15 minutes until the second last lap. Then went defensive. Matt got the run on me and made a bit of a mistake by going down the inside. I maybe should have slotted in, but you pay the consequences of this sort of thing. It's been a great weekend, still leading the championship. Just like to thank my sponsors, Haven Insurance and Red Strands Insurance, and also the team for a great weekend.
Matthew, another last lap move. Were you waiting to see where Callum made a mistake, or was it literally potluck?
Well, I knew I was a lot quicker than Callum. Coming out the hairpin down the bottom there, he was a bit slower than me out the corner. So I was thinking to myself, when I was pushing him around, I could do it here. And on the last lap, or second last lap, sorry, he defended going in and kept it tight all the way around. And I went on the outside of him, which meant he had the line for the first bit, but not for the second bit. And I managed to keep around the first bit of it. And going into the second bit, he came together. And he went off, and then I had a big gap and won.
When I talk about how you deal with adversity, Callum O'Keeffe's interview there, a masterclass. He was very unhappy about the fact that he was bumped off the track, but maintained his composure for the interview, kept smiling, and still remembered to thank his sponsors. He takes a comfortable championship lead into the later rounds.